I guess it's not going to play the intro. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Jaybird Watching. I'm your host, Craig Borden, and we're going to just have some fun talking Blue Jays baseball because we are getting closer and closer, a month away from Major League Baseball activities. I am so excited. It's about that time of year. I am here with my co-host, Liz McGuire, as always. How we doing, Liz?
Good, man. Good. As you know, I've been swept away in the World Baseball Classic games currently. I guess the pre-games. Canada did lose to the Buffalo Blue Jays or whoever they are, the AAA Blue Jays. And I'm delighted at how, okay, you know this, Craig. Tony, this will be new to you, but I'm delighted at how handsome the Dominican team is. They're all such babes, and they're excited about baseball. And so I'm going to go Team Canada, because that's, you have to. But I'm going Dominican. Let's go. Soto's a babe. Who else is a babe? Julio Rodriguez, total babe. The guy from the Astros, the handsome one.
The one we like, actually. Yeah.
No, the other one, the younger guy. Anyway, he's a babe.
Figure it out again.
He's a babe. And wait, I'm missing somebody in my babe roll call here. Let me check the photos I was tweeting out today. Oh, Tatis Jr., total babe.
Oh, yeah. So one things about Tatis is Albert Pujols is actually the coach, and apparently he's been teaching new things to Fernando Tatis, of all people. Is good God, if he gets dangerous. He went 3 for 3 today after some chit-chats with the machine.
It's just so fun to watch. That's it. So I'm excited to watch some fun to watch, like really boisterous baseball, and that team's got it, man.
They sure do. So speaking of teams that are boisterous and ready to run into this damn off season into the real season, we have Tony here with us who works with the Toronto Blue Jays. Tell him what you do, buddies. It's a fun one that we get to have you talking about tonight.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, my name is Tony Laquitara, and I am a physical therapist, and I'm also an athletic trainer. So playing the dual role here down in Dunedin with the Blue Jays.
Yep, and I'm sure it's a little bit warmer down there for all of us, up here in North America and Canada and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So,
just a little bit.
We got our stat guy, Liz. It's got you covered. Colin's saying it's Jeremy Pena you might have
Jeremy Pena. Full babe. Full babe. Anyway, let's go. We got Tony. Tony, thanks for being here, man. This is like a real treat for us.
Of course. No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
So I think the first questions have to be in the ballpark of you. I know you've been only with the Blue Jays for like a little over a year, almost 2.
Yeah.
That new facility we've seen pictures, we've seen teases. Is it as cool as we get to see on TV and whatnot?
Quite cool, I would say. Yeah, it's kind of got all the bells and whistles. I haven't seen many other facilities, but non-biased aside, I can say it's one of the better facilities in the MLB. We have 6 fields.
Whoa.
We can literally do one for each affiliate. We have an exact replica of Rogers Center for Field 1 where the Major League team plays. I mean, if you want to get to the nitty-gritty, our weight room's literally in the shape of home plate. So
that's crazy.
That's kind of how they designed it. Yeah, it's very cool.
That's
very
so cool. Like, I will say that
cool.
COVID was good for us. It was sad when we lost the team and they were in the States forever, but because they had to run it up. I don't know if it all went down then, but a lot of it did. And I know that having a really sick kind of training complex and spring training complex is it's a nice little draw for players, I think, who are spend a lot of time or live in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, it's we're spoiled.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. So to the right point, if you're going to be doing what you're doing and trying to get everybody ready for the major league grind, all the things that it is, recover all these wonderful things, you got to have the right tools at your dispense. So as far as those things, what is is there one place that's become like your favorite spot to hang out or just the cool spot to be in that facility that you're, just overwhelmed in?
Good question. So we basically live at work. We're there 6 days a week, multiple hours a day, grinding, and because we're there for the players, it's what we do. So we can't complain too much. But outside of that, we try to spend as much time outside the facility as possible. So my solace comes outside of the facility, I would say.
There we go. Tony, what's an average day for you like?
Yeah. So we get in fairly early. We get in, kind of change in the staff locker room, get ready for the day. We'll have meetings in the morning, going through cases, patients, whatever we need to go through. Write up some plans on our laptops, do some notes, more administrative type work. Get some breakfast. Players will come in, we'll do some treatments, and then again, everything's tailored around them. We operate around them, so they come for their treatments, and then the players that are doing baseball activity do their baseball activity. The players that do their weight room activity do their weight room activity after or before. So in that time frame, we're just there for support, make sure everything's going smoothly, and then afterwards, we usually do more treatments if needed. And then usually lunchtime, more administrative work, notes, things like that, meetings if needed, and then that's it for the day. So
that's a heavy day, man.
Yeah,
it's a very heavy day.
Yep.
And I find it really funny. It's just as much paperwork as any other job.
Oh yeah.
Probably
I think
more.
That's
probably more.
That's you'll see that anywhere with physical therapy. The notes and all of the admin work that comes along with it is it's a lot. It goes unrecognized, I feel like. So
yeah. So seeing you're down there with the team, I know you have interactions with the major league guys, minor league guys, everybody across the board, because that facility is so nice that everything is right there. Like, to your point,
sure.
Is there somebody that's jumped off the page to you so far this year that you were very impressed with their work ethic so far, or just somebody as this year
or not?
Or athletic wow kind of like thing going on?
I can't go into specific details with it, but we have a good group of young people who are working very hard, and our high performance staff makes sure of that, and we try to do as best as a job as we can with the young guys in creating routines and, holding each other accountable and making sure that they're ready to take the next step in the affiliate world, and they can work their way up to and become good professionals and represent not only the Toronto Blue Jays, but they're also representing the country of Canada on their shirts. So, yep.
Valid. Well done. And to that point so I know you're from Rochester, New York, where I happen to be from. You grew up here. We have a few common friends that obviously ease this up to the point. How did you go and I'm assuming you were interested in sports, maybe in baseball, and you kind of transitioned into this role. How did you get to this place where you ended up, transitioning into, first off the role of, physical therapy and athletic training, and then eventually to where you are as Blue Jay player or athletic trainer?
Yeah. So, I grew up playing football, baseball. Baseball was probably my number one passion. I grew up with, posters all over my walls. I got that from my mother. She was obsessed with baseball. We grew up close enough to Toronto where we would go see Yankees, Blue Jays every single year at the Rogers Center, because it's closer than New York City and tickets were a little bit cheaper than in the Bronx. So we would go see Blue Jays, Yankees all the time. She's a huge Yankees fan.
Personally, I think the city's a little cleaner and more fun too, but that's besides the point.
The rats are a little bit smaller too.
There.
But yeah, slightly smaller. People a little bit nicer too. Yeah, so grew up going to those. Played baseball up until my senior year. I had some arm issues my senior year, so that kind of derailed any hopes and dreams of trying to play in college. I don't know if that subconsciously led me down the path that I am now, but I don't know, maybe.
A little nudge.
Actually, went to University of Buffalo, going in undecided, had no idea what I wanted to do. Kind of discovered my passion for, fitness, exercise, just staying active, being as healthy as I possibly can. And I was kind of trying to look at fields. I was like, how can I incorporate this into what I want to do in life? And I knew that I wanted to do like extensive schooling, with, the majority of my family didn't really have those experiences in college. So I was there. I was like, I want to make the most of this. So I kind of discovered physical therapy. I was like, oh, you can go in the sports world and physical therapy. There's so many routes, but sports is one of them. Along the route of going into PT school, I found out about athletic training, which is like basically the brother or sister of PT, where it's a little bit more acute management of injuries. PT is more of the rehab, post-surgical, longer term injury rehab. So kind of discovered athletic training along the way, went to AT school at University of Buffalo, and then continued through PT school at Damon University, which is also, a small school in Buffalo, New York. So 8 years total living in Buffalo, great experience. And then again, I knew I wanted to do sports. I had internships in the sports world, so that kind of helped build my resume, build some connections. The opportunity knocked of completing a fellowship that specialized in upper extremity injuries, so your elbows, your shoulders, which coincided with doing 6 months with the Blue Jays. So that opened the door for where I am now, and now I'm here as, an actual contracted employee.
Tony, can you walk me through, I guess, the difference between, because there's not like, I mean, maybe there is doctors on the field, but what is the purpose of the trainer specifically? Like when somebody gets hurt, the trainer comes out. What's happening there?
We're essentially a first responder without having the extensive paramedic background. Again, the paramedics and the EMS are phenomenal at what they do. So that's the last thing we want to do is step on their toes. But we're the ones that are doing the acute management of the injury and an acute, control of the situation while we wait for paramedics if, crap hits the fan, basically. We're also responsible for, the everyday, aches and pains, the everyday, it can be, again, like some just soreness, for example, or it can be a nagging injury that we're trying to rehab and get back quickly. It comes with that territory. So I'd say we're like a hybrid between doing a little bit of rehab and a little bit of acute care of managing injuries and a little bit of first response as well.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So something happens. Somebody gets hurt. This thing goes on. Let's just use a shoulder injury or Tommy John, because that's always the one that's at the prevalent of most baseball fans. It's the horror story that you hear all the time.
Sure.
When you're managing that injury and you're walking through step to step, you're one of the ones that's either forming or assisting with them implementing that plan that they set out forward, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And it's a whole collaborative effort. The surgeons have their plans as well, and we want to do our best to kind of follow through with the surgeons and the physicians as well, because, they're the artists, they're the ones doing the art. Right. So they're the ones that are, performing the surgeries. There's us. Again, my role is a little bit hybrid where I see both sides of the acute care and the long-term rehab of the PT and an AT, but the PTs are there basically to carry out that plan and obviously tailor that. That's where our, biomechanical, anatomy, physiology background comes in, or our knowledge of exercises, strength and conditioning principles, all that, boring, wacky, scientific stuff. That's kind of where our background comes in. And it's a collaborative effort. I mean, we have strength and conditioning coaches that we're collabing with and progressing them in their exercises. We have a dietitian staff who is implementing nutritional focus and supplements and whatever they need from, a composition standpoint. We have mental performance experts who are doing that aspect, which again, that goes under the radar, especially in the sport of baseball, where there's way more failures than wins.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of friends of this show, Travis Snyder being one of them. We also have Todd Stottlemyre, both former Blue Jays that come on this show rather regularly, and that is 100% their post-career focus. Especially Travis, he's definitely re-geared his whole mentality of helping youth athletes make sure that they're just as good on the field as they are between the ears. And the brand that he's running, it's amazing to me that, for as many years as it has, those kind of things used to get looked over on the baseball field. Yep. And you do finally get that point. And I love that you brought that up, because it is not just yourself, the surgeon, it's that village that's really keeping all these guys on the field and keeping them right. It's just as much as recovery and as much as keeping them on the right track for certain things when they might be heading toward an injury, or like you mentioned, even just 10 years after they've gotten hurt with something. Sometimes it's just getting it through the grind. So
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, again, like you said, it takes a village. I don't think people realize, there's a whole team behind the team of, multiple people, multiple disciplines, and rightfully so, where the players are the ones that are on TV, right? They're the ones that are the focus, but there's a whole supporting staff behind them this is our careers, and our job is to support them. So we're doing the best we can with that. Yeah, I mean, and not even mention, the coaches and the performance staff too, the ones that are actually working on baseball specific activity and getting these guys better at the game of baseball. Our responsibility is just the medical aspect, making sure they're okay to play baseball.
Mm-hmm. So, Liz, you got one? Looked like you had one.
Yeah, I do. So, Tony, when I guess like I don't know how to say this, but like,
wait for it.
You have like body parts, knees, elbows, arms, and your hands that are worth millions, right? And have the potential to be worth millions. Are you ever scared?
Every day. I mean, yeah.
Well, there's a random I bet to it too. You don't know what you're gonna some days come into for the next day.
Correct. And I mean, and that's where being prepared and having knowledge of our field and having the expertise that we do comes in handy. We try to do everything we possibly can to put these guys in a position, say if they're coming back from an injury, to when they step on a field, when they do a specific activity in a progression, say they're throwing a ball for the first time, we want to make sure we've checked every single box in their progression for us to be as confident as possible, to feel, okay, he's going to throw without pain. He's going to be able to progress without any setbacks. Obviously, there's always setbacks, but that it's the confidence level that we try to build through our expertise and what we're doing with the players.
As somebody that has trouble throwing a baseball after 2 labrum surgeries and a nerve transposition in their elbow, I don't know what you mean. I guess it's because I'm 40, but
yeah.
I've been having to make sure I throw lacrosse balls with my daughter, making sure we're using the nets instead of goofing around with other things. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, I guess this is the thing is like rehab takes the longest. Like it's the longest grind. You get injured, and the rehab takes a while. Okay, I'm going to ask you a behind the scenes question.
Sure.
How long is it going to take Santander to repair for this surgery? What's fun here, man? What do you know?
We told him we'd be nice, Liz.
Yeah.
Come on.
No comment on that one.
Great.
There it is. She had to ask, I guess.
It's going to be longer than I'd like. It's going to be longer than I'd like.
But to that point,
lips are closed.
I love that because Tony's sitting on probably so many secrets. It's like, who's hurt? Who's not? What's the vibe? He's like, no.
And well played, sir. We don't.
Yeah, HIPAA.
Yeah, that's it. That's just the one word. That's it.
Yeah.
So in the midst of all the wonderful toys that you have in that beautiful brand new facility, is there one piece of technology that from your school or these things, that thing that you were like, oh my gosh, that's really cool, or something that kind of like made you nerd out a little bit that you weren't expecting maybe to have at your disposal in that wonderful new facility?
I can't touch on specific pieces of technology because every organization is different. That there becomes like a bias, but I can say that like I'll use an example from outside of the organization that we use. I work with baseball players outside of the organization. We use quite a bit of technology. I can give a couple examples. We use a lot of technology that's able to track strength of specific body parts in testing. So we call it isometric strength, the ability to overcome force without actually moving the actual body part. So it's just more like a yielding force that tracks like asymmetries, how much force you can produce and how quickly. That's a really good measure of seeing if they're prepared for certain aspects of their progression, such as explosive movements such as plyometrics, eccentric, really slow, heavy movements. So things like that. I've used in the past as a physical therapist what we call BFR, blood flow restriction therapy. It's essentially a tourniquet system that goes on a arm or a leg, and we kind of tourniquet on the body part, and the idea is that we are creating a metabolic stimulus similar to when you're lifting heavy weight and going for hypertrophy and going for reps. It allows you to work at a really, really, really low weight and still get the same stimulus without overexerting your bone, tendons, ligaments, and muscle to a heavy weight that's on there. So it's really good.
That's
for
interesting.
Early rehab stages. Yes.
Yeah, because that one's like a full-on like engineering trick that you're really playing on the human body, right?
Yeah, we basically are able to trick the body in ways and create like a metabolic influx of these hormones these cells that create healing essentially and create muscular adaptations. Obviously, it will never replace normal exercise, but it's a really, really good supplement in early rehab when we're not able to lift heavy due to pain, due to restrictions, things like that.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a little bit better than me doing push-ups on a 45-degree angle.
I think technology's changed. Tony, what are some of the main kind of injuries you see throughout the year?
I would say in baseball, the most common injuries we see are just in any baseball setting are the upper extremity injuries. A lot of shoulder, a lot of elbow. Obviously, Tommy John rates are going up as people are throwing harder, and unfortunately, Tommy John rates are going up as age decreases as well. Ages 15 through 19 are highly susceptible at this point. That's a whole nother story in terms of lack of arm care, coaches, lack.
We were going to get to asking some youth questions here in a minute.
Yeah, lack of variability in sports and just playing year round. There's multiple factors. Not being fully developed. There's multiple factors. You can't just point to one thing. But obviously, the elbow, ligamentous issues, shoulder issues are very common. Whether it's the rotator cuff, which accounts for a lot of this muscular stability of the shoulder when you're either throwing, and then the labrum, which again, if you think about the shoulder as a golf ball on a tee, that's the shoulder joint. The labrum would be like a ring that encapsulates the tee, so it really suctions your arm into the socket. So if that's damaged, that can usually account for a lot of instability and can cause pain and multiple other issues. And we see that a lot, especially in hitters. Again, youth all the way through. So a lot of upper extremities.
As someone that's had that surgery twice, the first time it took me 9 months to figure out what was going on with my doctors and everything, because it was just. And then I finally got the right doctor, and he looks at my MRI after they finally ordered one and goes, "Oh my God." It was like an inch tear or something like that. It was horrible.
Nothing like a doctor saying that right in front of you. Jeez.
He goes, "Well, not only do you have a tear, but you have a significant one," was the key word.
Good. That's good to hear.
So, hey, at least I finally knew what we needed to fix after 9 months. It actually felt like a little bit of a weight off of my shoulders with that one. But
better late than never, I guess, right?
Exactly. So, as you were mentioning, you talked about youth sports. You played youth sports. And as far as these kind of things that you've seen and all these pieces and puzzles that you've obviously learned about the human body over the years, is there something that you would recommend to either help or avoid for young athletes? Because we have a lot of parents, coaches, and youth athletes that listen to this show, and learning from somebody like yourself would be greatly beneficial to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're starting to do a better job of controlling for like pitch counts in high school, especially. A lot of high schools are also mandating athletic trainers, which again, having just more healthcare professionals in high schools. I didn't have an AT in high school, so I had no idea how to take care of my body right or know any principles of arm care or anything like that. So we would just kind of just rip the ball every day, and without pitch counts. Travel ball is another big one. There's less restrictions in travel ball. So that's another big one. I mean, I remember playing travel ball. I remember one game I threw 147 pitches in one game.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, there's like no regulations, and I think I probably pitched maybe less than 3 days later. Again, not knowing the effects that would have.
The other catch on that whole thing is I'm sure you were having fun playing the game at that point. And it's like, okay, did you see it? You wanted to be out there on the field and do what you do and enjoy it.
Exactly. Again, I think it's getting more under control in terms of like establishing pitch counts. There are rules in Little League, especially, which that's great. I think having more variability in sports and not playing baseball year round, I think that's a big thing that that's the big debate right now with youth sports, is like, how specific should you get into a sport with the specificity of it, and how early of an age? I mean, the research is still up in the air. A lot of it's just off of feel. But I think the more well-rounded someone is as an athlete, the better, instead of, sticking a 10-year-old and making them play baseball 10 out of 12 months a year. If you just think about it from a common sense standpoint, someone throwing a projectile hard, humans are not meant to throw projectiles this hard, and we still do it. A 10-year-old doing that when they're still growing and swinging a bat as hard as they can almost year round. I mean, do the math in terms of the forces on the body, and while a growing body with growth plates that are still open in these joints, I mean, you can kind of come to your own conclusion with that. But again, even if they're not playing other sports, if they are really that obsessed with baseball, give them some downtime at least,
Correct.
Or give them some breaks. Yeah, exactly. Recover. Go outside. Go do something fun. Like,
yeah, that's a common thing we've been hearing is like, go out and play. Go do something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everybody. Fellow Rochester native, I've seen him in a few interviews and whatnot. Ernie Clement has said that one of his favorite things to do in the off season has always been play hockey, which ironically is right down the street here. But I grew up playing stickball, tackle football, everything with everybody down the street in my neighborhood. It was just inevitably someday after school, somebody walk around and just knock on all the doors. Now they can text each other. It's even easier to get a hold of your friends and everything like that. And it was just, hey, we're going to the cul-de-sac. We're going to play stickball today. Oh, we're going to go to Matt's backyard. We're going to play football. It was just always like that. I don't think kids understand that. Just goof around, grab some friends, hang out and have fun playing sports. Doesn't matter who. I think you're missing that point, to your point, to have the diversity, even just in leisure.
Exactly. I mean, we did the same thing. I grew up on a cul-de-sac, so we'd play wiffle ball every single weekend. And I mean, you could still be competitive. It doesn't mean you take the competitiveness out of it. But I mean, it allows you to just do other things and have fun doing it and not get burnt out so early.
Yeah. And there's something fun always about hitting a couple of tennis balls off everybody else's houses in the cul-de-sac. There's a little bit of extra shenanigans to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Liz, it looked like you had a question.
No, I was just thinking about how I grew up rural and in a field, and we had cows. That was it. We had lots of cows.
Fishing.
Hey, go chase the cows, right? Go cow tipping.
You actually, yeah, that's a thing. It's not. Cow tipping is a myth. They're too big. Okay, Tony, what's your? It's true. You can't. And also, guys, cows can't roll.
Work out.
If you tip a cow over, it will die. There you go.
Oh.
Sad facts. Don't do that.
Things I shouldn't have learned from Chris Farley for 101.
There you go.
Don't tip cows.
Don't tip cows. Or you can chase them. Take one on. See if you can catch one. Godspeed to you.
All right. Deal.
Tony, what is your patient roster like? Like, do you have are you stuck with players who are moving around a lot, or are you somebody through their entire kind of rehab stint?
My role. Good question. My role is a little bit. I'm more hybrid. So right now I'm kind of doing AT coverage of a lot of the spring just scrimmages and games and live at bats throughout practice. But as that dwindles down, the affiliates break camp and MLB team leaves, I'm sticking around, and I will be part of the rehab team that does like more of like the rehab long-term injuries. And that's split up between a few of us staff. And we kind of split that up as the coordinators see fit in terms of who is the point person for who, but we kind of all collaborate together. Our whole thing is, if one person's out sick or they're taking time off, nothing changes in terms of the routine or the schedule. Another person just picks up the slack, and that's kind of how we operate. So it's a very joint effort. Like we get a hands on everyone that's with us.
So where are you located throughout the season? Where are you located?
So this past season I was located in Dunedin. I believe I'll still be there this year.
Nice.
Yep.
I love the city of Dunedin. I've been a frequent flyer down there for many, many years. I'm finally going to be coming down, like I was talking to you and Liz is aware of, here in the next couple of weeks to do whatever I just happen to stumble in on. So to the point, the beer's on me if you want to have a hangout for a minute.
Absolutely, man.
But now that you've settled down and you've seen everything that's going on, is there somewhere around town that has become like one of the places that you're like, this is my mental escape from work and all the other fun around here? Or is it just going to a different baseball field?
I'm here right now, actually. I'm in downtown St. Pete right now.
There you go.
I'm an avid workout. I do a lot of hybrid training and things like that. So I actually I finished a run a little bit earlier. I'm actually by the pier in downtown St. Pete. I kind of frequent here 2-3 times a week now. I'm staying at the team hotel right now in Dunedin, so it's a little bit of a troop right now. It's about 35-40 minutes away, but I'm moving in a couple weeks to more central locations, so I'll be about 15-20 minutes, which is even better. So downtown St. Pete, you can't really beat it. The restaurants, the sunsets, the bars on the weekend, it's great. The food's good. The water's amazing. Yeah.
I'm hoping that a few of my holes are still there where I can go and hide from being down there as many times as I did, because unfortunately the hurricane and whatnot over in Clearwater, a few of the random local places did what it did. And there's this one little place that you go over the beach to Clearwater there.
Sure.
Nobody knew about this place. It was clearly just the locals. And my friend told me about this, who lived in Dunedin for many years. And he goes, just go over the bridge, turn left into the first parking lot. And I'm like, okay, that's where all the boats are at. And he goes, trust me, there's a place that's called the Bait House. Just go there. And I'm like, okay. So I walk in, and he goes, ignore when you're walking in. So I walk in, and it literally is a bait shop. Liz, we could go fishing over the break. Awesome. And so, but then you just keep walking. And he goes, just don't stop in the bait shop. Just keep walking. And it opens up into this beautiful little, seated deck area and everything that's kind of like right under the bridge where all the big boats for fishing and stuff go out, and it's all fresh caught that day, fish, seafood, everything like that. It was just spot on. But all those little places around there, is there some crazy bit of food that you found that's like, yep, that's my jam?
There's a couple restaurants I like down here. Nothing crazy, but Olivia, downtown St. Pete, really good Italian food, homemade pasta. I'm Italian myself, so that's like my go-to. The original one's in Tampa. It's still there, but this one's a little bit newer. Same exact restaurant, it's just on the other side of the bay. That's one of my favorite places I go. Honestly, there's a lot of good places around here. I tried I don't even remember the name of the place. It was in Clearwater area. I tried some alligator last season, so that was an experience.
What's that like?
It tasted like chicken tendons, so like a chewy piece of chicken. It was good. It was a texture thing. It was a little weird, but
but it's usually barbecued, Cajun,
it was this one was like deep fried and breaded like calamari was. So I was like, all right, this will work.
Yeah, at least if you're going to try it, that was the way to probably do it.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Our buddy Esteban is apparently thinking about making a trip. You got to do it, buddy. He's looking for a Dean Jays game. I'm assuming you spent time at the main ballpark since they renovated it and everything. What's your thoughts on how nice everything has become? Because that was the oldest minor league baseball stadium before they renovated that hadn't been touched. I loved it because it was just kind of my home away from home, but I'm so glad after renovations, I'm finally going to get to see it. Looks like the game is still right there at your fingertips.
It for sure is. On the left field line, there's a whole area you can play cornhole and still watch the game. It's like a big open area for kids to run around. That's a really cool aspect. I haven't been up in the boxes or in where the media is, but I guess that got renovated as well in terms of the offices.
I hope so. The elevator sucked.
Yeah. I haven't been up there, but I've heard that's fairly new as well. But yeah, I mean it's a beautiful place to play and to watch a game.
I like how close you are, but in the midst of everything down there, that was the beautiful love of traction of all those stadiums, even after they've renovated a bunch of them. Yeah. This time of year, I know it's probably super chaotic for you, but do you ever get a chance to sneak away and go to another game just for the day, even if it's just for fun?
Not yet, but I will be in the future. I might have mentioned earlier, I work in Arizona with some off-season guys for a private company, and pretty close.
I was gonna make sure you got your shameless plug. I got on the note card.
So I work with a few guys there. So whenever they're in town, probably playing the Rays, of course, because the Rays will be here. I'll probably go to a few regular season games to watch them whenever they're in town.
There you
go. Yep.
Okay, when you were a kid, who are your go-to favorite ball players?
Again, my mom was diehard Yankees. Jeter, obviously, like I feel like that was, unless you're a Red Sox fan, that was everybody's like, I respect the hell out of him. Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, I loved just how he played. I'm trying to think who else. Wasn't a Mets fan, but I like David Wright a lot.
I don't know how you can't like. Same thing with Jeter.
Right,
even Blue Jays fans, it's like, okay, great.
I got no beef with Jeter. Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to think who else, but Griffey. I was pretty young. Griffey was playing, but I still remember, you know, him and Bonds, obviously the lore behind them. Yeah, I remember when I was little, it was like one of the few times Barry Bonds played the Yankees, and he hit like a over 450-foot bomb in right field, the Yankee Stadium.
The guy's
on
a monster.
TV.
Still is.
Yeah.
I still believe every word that Barry Bonds says, that he would be able to turn around on these 103 mile an hour fastballs, just because of the what's going on in here thing with him. He'll figure a way out.
100%. Got to throw a plug. I mean, Roy Halladay. I grew up. I used to go to, again, Blue Jays, Yankees, so I got to see him pitch a few times, and that was unbelievable watching him play.
Yeah, in that time frame you were talking about, doesn't get much better than Roy Halladay in that for the Blue Jays. Delgado, probably right about in that same bit. But
Halladay, Vernon Wells, that was a good team. Yep, I remember watching those guys. Yep.
So you mentioned travel ball. I'm assuming you went to some other places in the midst of this, and you're touring and here and there. And like I said, we got a lot of kids that watch the show that are in travel ball.
Sure.
Those kind of things take you to some fun cities. Did you get to go to some other major league ballparks, or is there one that sticks out in your mind that is like, wow, that was a fun ballpark, I'm glad I got to see that, or maybe one on the bucket list?
I haven't been to too many MLB parks, honestly. I want to make this trip to San Diego. I heard that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the city of San Diego. Yeah, if I go to, was it Petco? Yeah. If I go to
Petco's
Petco,
beautiful.
I'm pretty sure it's voted like one of the best, if not the best ballpark. When I was in PT school, I had like a 2-month internship in Pittsburgh. It was before baseball season like actually started, so I wasn't able to go to PNC, but I would go on my runs and literally run around the park every single day, and it was like the coolest setting. That's got to be one of the coolest backdrops, having the bridges in downtown Pittsburgh in the background. So I think that would be a good one. San Francisco on the Bay, that's another good one. I think anything with like a scenic backdrop would be good. Wrigley's another one. Wrigley and Fenway.
The beautiful thing about PNC Park, and my friends made fun of me for doing this, and I'm like, it wasn't because I was cheap. Somebody told me this same thing that I'm going to share with the two of you. If you go to the Giants Stadium, go and get a nosebleed seat. Just get as high up the seats you can, and make sure you're looking out kind of like from behind the first base line. Go that direction. And they said it's just the prettiest look. You get the big glove in the thing. You get to see the bay and everything. It just almost feels like you're like half on vacation, half in a ballpark. And that's about the best way I can say it. It's like hanging out by the bay kind of thing. It was really cool.
Pittsburgh, similar. If you get in the outfield, they're like a high up. Again, you can see the bridges and the city behind you, and then the sunsets to your left of the stadium. Yeah,
I gotta try that one because that's all everybody says. That is and if even in that same thing that you mentioned there, the tidbit about just being in the vibe around the ballpark, it was just there's another level to it. So good stuff.
Absolutely.
Tony, do you have any advice? Sorry, I'm gonna jump. Do you have any advice for kids looking to get into kind of this field?
Yeah, I mean, the book stuff is gonna come, right? Like, I mean, you're gonna do your schoolwork, and you're gonna go through college, and that's the same for everybody. I mean, you just show up and you get the work done, you're gonna be fine. I would say the biggest part though is you got to make connections, and I would say like you got to pick and choose, internships, things like that. That are going to benefit you, and that's kind of what I did, and that might require you to travel a little bit. And again, that's what I ended up doing. I was in Arizona, I was in Pittsburgh, I was in Wisconsin, now I'm in Florida. So I mean, you're gonna have to be willing to branch out a little bit, because again, it depends where you are too. I mean, coming outside of Rochester, you have a couple sports teams in Rochester, but not too heavily in sports. I mean, Toronto's there, but again, that's a whole nother country.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo has their sports. And again, I was fortunate enough to go to Buffalo and get internships there with the Bills and having those as a resume builder. So, but you know, you got to find yourself in areas where those things become opportunities for you, essentially.
Yeah. So kick the right doors in is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. And then stay in touch with people. Do a good job wherever you're at. Essentially, you know, work hard.
Yeah. Well, that's how this stupid conversation happened.
You're gonna have to
maybe you should tell your buddy Joe to not tell you.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. Thanks. But yeah, like, and you're gonna have to do some of the dirty work for a little bit, and that's fine. I mean, that's just how it is, and then an opportunity will come about, and you'll be thankful and grateful. So, yeah.
So we're near the end of the show here. We try to keep this pretty strictly around an hour. I got 100 people in the chat still currently. Please hit us up with your friends, not just Matt over here, our buddy Cullen. Tell us that my profile pic is from PNC Park. Thanks, stats guy.
Yeah, way to go, stats on your face. Let's go.
So hit us up with some more questions. Goofing around, I see y'all there goofing around, having fun with us. But on that note, I want to make sure, Tony, I give you a chance to talk about what you told me before the show here. Your little outside of the Blue Jays piece, your other training effort. If you would like to talk on that, this is your moment to literally just chit chat or name drop a billion people like you did a minute ago and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So early November this past year, Scottsdale, Arizona, there's a collective group of us between myself and I want to say 3 or 4 other PTs, an athletic trainer, and 2 strength and conditioning coaches. We kind of were hand selected by Alex Bregman as the main investor in the company, and his manager and longtime best friend, Tyler Straub, who is the CEO of we're calling Nemesis Baseball. Basically a collaborative effort to essentially bring MLB offseason into one building, into one base, and honestly just get to work, working on our craft, getting these guys more athletic, doing strength and conditioning, and from a medical side, if guys are injured, doing the rehab side as well. So it's a little bit of everything. So that was created in early November, and the turnout was amazing, and the exposure has been phenomenal so far in terms of the deals that we're getting done. We have deals with Marucci among other companies. The exposure's been phenomenal, and it's already showing how hard these guys have worked and what we're doing with these guys in the World Baseball Classic. We have a guy on Team Mexico that just hit a home run yesterday that was with us. Bregman's hit 2 home runs in 2 days. We've had just to bring about some players to light. I mean, we had the Holiday brothers stopped in for a few weeks and were with us. We had Zach Gallen with us, Rob Refsnyder, Matt Chapman, many other players, just to name those few. So MVPs are in the building, All-Stars, Gold Glove.
I like the way you said few while you named like 20.
Some guys were there. Some guys were there from November to February, grinding, doing the entire program. Some guys stopped in for a couple days. Some guys stopped in for a couple weeks. And that's the kind of message we want to show of, like, we kind of started like a family, and we through that business. And I mean, Tyler, who's the CEO, and it was his kind of brainchild. He was able to bring us all together, and kind of with Bregman to help out and kind of collect these names and get some of these deals done, along with Tyler and his brother behind the scenes, and pulling us staff in. So we're extremely grateful for that. And I mean, it's called Nemesis Baseball. It's on Instagram. We have our own website. So our content's phenomenal. It's educational. It's also just pretty cool to see if you're a baseball or even just a sports fan, to see the behind the scenes of our guys working out and putting the work in the offseason. And you're already seeing it paid off before the season even starts.
Yeah, there's nothing I find more delightful in the off season than when the players post their behind the scenes highlight reels to be like, I'm ready, I'm in the best shape ever, and you're like, yeah, you are. This isn't the 70s anymore. Like you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not ready to just show up and drink beer in the middle of the dugout. And that was who was telling that story the other. Oh, it was Wade Boggs. I think it was our buddy Chris Denart of Dugout Mugs that was telling us the Wade Boggs pounding beers in the dugout story.
Yep. No, that's only on weekends now.
Yep.
But no, I mean these guys. We were training these guys to be better athletes, and then the baseball stuff came after. We had some hitting coaches come in, and they would work on their baseball stuff after. But we were just making these guys more athletic and just keeping them healthy throughout the season, especially the veteran guys that have been around for a little bit. So it was extremely grateful. So we're going to keep on doing that, and for the foreseeable future. So big things to come with that.
Awesome. Yeah, baseball is an insane sport because it's a lot of in between either stationary movement or bursts of movement, or then pitching and hitting. And those movements aren't the same at all. But baseball puts them all together in different ways that are like over 186 games. I remember Jose Batista talking about how he had a really hard time keeping the weight on during the season and like staying healthy. And that's a grind.
Yeah, absolutely is. Yep. So it takes a whole village.
Yep.
So that's Nemesis Baseball. I'm looking at it on Instagram right now. Really cool stuff. Make sure everybody checks it out. And obviously, our buddy Tony Laquitara here will be at the center of some of it. So there you go.
Yes.
So on that note, is there anything that you would like to share, goof around, dumb baseball story from when you played? Anything you would like to, play out here with?
For myself?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm hitting you with this one's the hard question.
Or is there anything you want to see this season? Is there any
There you go.
I want to see a World Series. That's what I want to see.
Wait, for who though?
Blue Jays.
Of course. Let's go. Were you up in the club at all? Did you ever make it up to the club or like during the World Series, or were you just
no. So this past season I was in a fellowship type role. So I was with the Blue Jays for about 6 months, and that ended in like mid-September. I was still in touch with the guys, obviously, but at that point I was actually back in University of Wisconsin in Madison. So I was watching the World Series from my TV there. So hopefully
being tortured just like the rest of us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, biting my nails. Yeah, but hopefully this year we can get there front and center. Hopefully we can make it. I think the team is poised. So make another
Tony,
run.
keep him healthy, man. Keep him healthy.
Yeah.
Trying our best.
And it's fun that you got to experience that piece like a fan, though.
Absolutely.
Just, and because you were able to just take that step back and go, okay, we did something good along with being a fan at the same time. So was there something that stood out as like, that was just your, oh my God moment during obviously there's plenty of moments this World Series and playoffs and whatnot.
Or any guys you were like, I know that guy. I've worked with that guy.
That's kind of dissipated. I feel like just the more you work with them, you kind of become like, you see these guys more than your own family,
Yeah.
So they just become like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
So that kind of just disappears. I feel like
cool.
when I was a student doing internships, the first couple people I met that were like big names, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Not even baseball talking. I did an internship with the Bills. First time I saw Josh Allen, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome."
The question: did you geek out as bad as Ernie Clement did? Did you see that video?
I did not. So
it's a good one. I highly recommend put that on your YouTube.
I feel like Tony used to see the star, and now he just sees the body parts and the plan. He's like, "No, this is the plan."
Yes, exactly. Yes. And that comes with the territory of working in healthcare, being as professional as possible, no matter who's sitting in front of you, right? But sometimes you do have to take a step back, and the personal life when the work clothes come off and you're doing your own thing, and you're not under that microscope of being at the facility. It is nice to be a fan again. Yeah. Again, go catch a ball game or go text someone that and be like, hey, how's it going? Just from a personal standpoint, it does have its benefits with that. And again, being with them so often, it's nice to take a step back and become a fan for a little bit again.
Yeah, I also think you should also this is the thing. Baseball is awesome, and I always fear like I have friends who are musicians and they stop going to shows because they're like I can't listen to music. It makes me think of work. So I think it's really good that you can still take a beat, enjoy the game, and be present within that.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, the game of baseball is always interesting to me. It hasn't died with the work that I'm doing, which so far is positive in my career, and I think that's a really good way to prevent any burnout in the future. So we're so far so good. We're still loving the game, which is great.
There we
go. You got the right vibe, man. That's all I'm gonna say. It'll take you a lot of places.
Appreciate it.
All right. So cool. I'm gonna nickname him Tony Hustle because this man hustles. Kicks doors open, makes things happen.
We've been grinding the last 8 years to get where we are now. So only bigger things to come, which is good.
That's awesome.
Good deal, buddy.
We're excited.
So we can't say enough good things about having you on the show tonight. We greatly appreciate you. Is there anything, I just say in general baseball, that you would like to just touch on? You excited for the World Baseball Classic? Anything like that?
Very excited for the World Baseball Classic. Sorry, Team Canada. I have to root for the U.S. a little bit.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes, though.
But I am very.
The beautiful thing is we have Blue Jays on every team at this point.
And honestly, I don't want to show my hand, but I think the U.S. might have a better team than Team Canada. I'm just like maybe they do. I don't know if Josh Naylor can take us all the way. Freddie Freeman's not going to play. But I think, but man, you know what? Let's never forget the greatest baseball moment ever, which was the last World Baseball Classic? What was Trout versus Ohtani?
Yep.
Like you could not have scripted that. You could not have scripted that.
Yep. Ohtani definitely won that battle, but
I
bet you he holds that over his head every time they see each other.
Well, no, he can't because he's got too many World Series rings. He's like,
but I'm sure he talks about that strikeout probably more than the World Series rings because the other flip side of that coin is the Angels would actually have to do something to get Mike Trout in the playoffs, let alone the World Series.
But, Mike Trout, the man who squandered his own career.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be a good year. World Baseball Classic is gonna kick everything off, and we're jumping right into it. I think it's going to be a good season. It's going to be a competitive year.
Yeah.
So.
It's fun to see how the guys always come back from the World Baseball Classic. They had that next level because it is quadruple A plays at that point. It's not major league maybe to that point, but a lot of these teams, when they get to those final rounds, like we were just talking about that Japan versus US game, that was just the list of all-stars and all-stars at that time. And Liz, your heartbeat of the what's going on with the team Dominican Republic and everything like that, they're going to be right there. I think.
Those handsome, joyful babes, like they're just fun. They're like a group of fun puppies. They're just like rowdy and like love it.
That's been a fun Instagram follow in the last
rowdy
probably 72 hours.
Yeah.
So,
and I like the way just to close, I like the way that some of the teams it'll be like from the Netherlands or something, and it'll be like we've got some MLB players, and then we got like a plumber who can pitch pretty good. It's like,
it's good. Watch, you'll end up being like Super Mario throwing fireballs, right?
Yeah. There's always one or two of those on some of these random teams.
The World Baseball Classic has been a door open for a few players that came to Major League Baseball, and that will continue to be a trend. You get on a stage like that, and you can show what you can do, and you put it all out there. You never know what can happen.
Never know. Yep, exactly.
So, on that note, Tony, parting words of any kind?
Go Jays.
Go Jays.
Let's go.
There it is. So thank you everybody for the over 100 people that are still hanging out with us to almost the hour mark here. We greatly appreciate you. We're going to be talking all things Toronto sports and Toronto Blue Jays here and whatnot in the next few weeks. Make sure you join us next week. We are also going to have I'm blanking on how I had it on the tip of my tongue. So I guess I'll have to look at the sheet here again.
We got somebody awesome. You're gonna love them.
No, I'm just that horrible. We were not able to get the mayor of Dunedin back because I'm gonna visit her while I'm down in Dunedin talking things out. But we are gonna have two of her members that are the team that helped keep the Blue Jays in Dunedin, Florida during the whole wonderful and everything. And one of the gentlemen was the one that joined us during the World Series because they had that wonderful field trip that they got to go on and see the crazy game one and tell us about all the crazy that happened. So predecess the trip and then put a bow on the mid-spring training piece and whatnot. Make sure you check out our friends at JBW Baseball Company for a wonderful hat offering. And if you haven't gotten one of these, we've gotten a lot of orders from our buddy Chris debuting these on the show last week. Hit that up, 25% off with the code down here on the bottom, dugoutmugs.com/birdwatching. And if for some reason it didn't give you the code for the 25% off at that link, BAT25 gets you that 25 discount. So make sure you to check it out. I've been loving this thing, Liz. I can't stop using it now. It's just got beer, water. I probably should wash it. So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a great night. And as always, let's go Blue Jays.
Woo!